A day of surprises, a day of red flags. It was a strange qualifying day, but Oscar Piastri, the championship leader, once again showed why he's got the top job at McLaren right now, beating out everybody else for pole position. As ever, we've got people on the ground at GPBlog. Ludo, you're back there and you're in the press centre at the moment. And it's a hell of a day. We've got Piastri, unsurprisingly maybe, with McLaren's advantage, doing so well, but Verstappen, who was very close, was it a cause of he lost to get P2, or was he actually quite happy?
Well, he was actually quite happy with the result. You know, yesterday everybody at Red Bull was thinking about the season is lost, we're not going to make this anymore. And suddenly they're 2 tenths behind a McLaren and everything looks much brighter. Max even said this was the best day in the RB21 of the year. He's very happy with the upgrades. The balance is much better. Only thing he's not happy about, still not happy about, is the tire management. The tires get overheated very fast. And that's why he also thinks, well, tomorrow we'll be doing better than in Miami, but McLaren, we won't be fighting them because our tires will be gone much earlier than theirs.
So you think that it will be a McLaren 1-2 still with Piastri right out in the lead? What was the reaction from the McLaren camp?
Well, I don't think there's definitely a 1-2. It could be a 1-3. You know, it's very hard to overtake here. Max said, if you're faster, then you can overtake. Norris has an advantage over George Russell because George used one of his race tires to get use in qualifying. So McLaren thinks he's going to have a disadvantage tomorrow, and especially with the pace difference, that should be an easy one for Lando.
You might be saying that Verstappen has had the best day of his life, but it certainly wasn't for Yuki in a horrifying crash. Thankfully, he walked away, and I know you've had a chance to speak to the drivers afterwards. How was Yuki's reaction?
Well, Yuki was very ashamed. That's really the word that he used when I asked him how he felt. A lot of shame, because he knows the team has to work all night long to rebuild his car. Also, this is very costly. Max said this is from the budget cap. It goes away for, so yeah, on all cylinders, a horrible one. Luckily, indeed, he walked away because in 20 years ago, of course, when the cars weren't that safe, this would have been a real big problem for Yuki in the barriers. So yeah, he's very lucky.
Yuki wasn't the only driver having a big crash day. Franco, bit of a day from hell for his F1 return. He had the crash, he had the issue leaving the pit lane early. It's a tricky day as Flavio Briatore's new driver. What's the reaction from Alpine?
Yeah, Franco had a horrible day today, of course. First race, this huge crash, also with huge costs. So this won't help Franco, of course. And also, this was not something mechanical. This was really his fault. And he acknowledged also, I made a mistake. And remember last year at Williams, the last few races, he also had some huge crashes, like in Las Vegas. He has to be careful now, because if this happens twice or 3 times perhaps in the next few races, it will be only 5 races that we see him, and then Paul Aaron, well, could be back. Jack Doohan was in the paddock today. It didn't seem after qualifying, but I'm pretty sure he was a little bit smiling, because did Jack do any worse than this?
We had a bit of an issue yesterday with the 2 drivers who crashed today in qualifying when Yuki and Franco came quite close together on the track, and I know that there was a little bit of attention out on there with some gesticulations from the cockpit. There's been a social media storm about this. What can you tell us?
Yeah, that video, that clip from Yuki sending a message with his hands to Franco in the car, that was on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. And of course the Argentinian fans saw that and they went totally berserk, screaming and shouting, calling him names. And Yuki was asked, so what do you think about that? Everybody's on your Instagram now, and he was really kind of pissed because he said, this is not football, this is Formula One. This should not happen in these sports. And of course, remember when Jack Doohan was driving at Alpine, he had the same thing when the Argentine fans were always after Jack, supporting Franco. So yeah, this is something Alpine doesn't like. I'm pretty sure that they want a normal environment and it's kind of hostile at the moment.
Is there anything that Franco said in relation to what his fans are doing? I know he's obviously enjoying the Argentinian passion. It's a difficult line for him to try and tread.
I'm pretty sure that Franco doesn't like it, but at the moment he doesn't say, stop it please. He should, perhaps.
It's a difficult place to be, and it's going to be very difficult for him to fight forwards to get to the points tomorrow after such a challenging qualifying day. We've got quite a good grid in terms of the top drivers being a little bit separated, with George Russell as that opposite strategy. So very excited to see what actually happens in the race, and Ludo will be talking to you afterwards. Thank you for all of your insight today, and thank you everybody else for watching.